Thank you everybody for tuning in. So today on the show, I got with me Mr. John Murray. So I'll go ahead and read a little description about him. Really extensive, but perfect. So John Murray is a San Francisco native and graduate from UC Berkeley with a BA in psychology. He is also an NSCA certified strength and conditioning specialist. He received his MA in clinical sports psychology from John F. Kennedy University, where he was named 2008 Alumnus of the Year. He was a director of the strength and conditioning coach for 3 years at Stanford and has worked closely with professional athletes like Freddie Jones, Troy Bell, NBA players like Joel Prisbilla and Tayshaun Prince. His extensive list continues to grow with accomplishments in the Canadian Football League, the Major League Soccer team, San Jose Earthquakes, and the Japanese Basketball League. He has also worked with the Latvian National Team during 2008 and 2009 as a consultant. John Murray also has his own athletic business called MAD, or Murray Athletic Development, where they aim to empower athletes to do their best and to attain their athletic excellence by providing world-class post-sport rehabilitation, functional fitness, and athletic development training service. Finally, he was the strength and conditioning coach for the Golden State Warriors from 2007 and 2011. Welcome to the show, John Murray.
This is it. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. So first of all, how are you feeling today?
Oh, good. I got an early session in with the ocean. I live in San Francisco, so.
Oh, that's nice.
I got to get water. It's better than coffee.
Yeah. Oh, that's really nice, being by the water and swimming.
Lucky. Very lucky.
Yeah, very lucky. So the second question is, what made you get into strength training?
My big brother had first introduced me to it. My brother Dennis, and this is going back when I was a little kid. He's 6 years older than me, so we had a good-sized family. There were 5 of us. I was in the middle, and we had 3 sisters. So he took me under his wing, whether he liked it or not. But he was great to me. And he was into sports. And back in the 70s, you had a lot of big brothers would go to Sears Roebuck and buy weight sets for Christmas or birthdays, and you put it in the basement. You just lift it.
Yeah,
you can't do what your big brother said. So that was probably my first real introduction to it. Then in high school, I was an okay athlete, but probably early in my high school years, the high school where I was attending, it and I didn't see eye to eye on things. I was young, I was wild, and I was foolish. And then probably halfway through my career there, I was playing football, and the sport I enjoyed it. I like basketball more. But I trained myself on, and I just started reading about nutrition and training.
Yeah.
And I saw that when I applied things I read about, I got better. I could move better, felt better, got in better shape. So that was intriguing to me, that you can kind of put your mind to something, especially as a young high school dude. Yeah, and see results. That was my first introduction of anything at all. It wasn't even called strength and conditioning. I might probably just called it weightlifting or something, right? That was about my initial introduction.
Okay, that's dope. So now, since you got the information about strength training and stuff like that, you kind of like taught yourself the ropes and how to improve your body and all that different type of stuff. How did you end up like working for the Golden State Warriors back in like 2004, or if it was like even before that? Did you start interning like for the facility or for the organization, or was it just like connections that kind of just worked out?
I've got to watch how I answer, because I can go. Though it's well intended, I can go on and I picked up a trade of my grandfather, Jack Kavanaugh. So I love to tell stories, and again, they mean well. So how I got on this track, we love basketball. When I was a little kid, the Warriors, everyone loved the Warriors. I'm from San Francisco, so they were mid-70s, and that was awesome. I think I won 25 cents on a bet.
Wow, 25 cents, that's a lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah.
So it was like everyone wanted to be in the NBA. Everyone. And my great friend Darren Acchetti and I loved the game. And our first love, even before the Warriors, was Meadowlark, Lemon, and Curly Neal, and the Harlem Globetrotters.
Oh wow!
You turn on ABC TV and watch these dudes, and they're always
do all crazy.
Oh, it was amazing, man! Like a basketball circus. So it was just seeing this beautiful game played and making people happy. And Darren and we had little Nerf hoops, so didn't have a gym. We loved the game then. So I knew I wanted to be. I knew the game at the early age was a blast, and it brought people together, and I loved it. And then later, at the end of my high school experience, I got in trouble. I had to get out of high school early, went to work, and my big brother to keep me, get me back on track, got me into martial arts.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
was Tai Chi, first introduction. And that's been with me ever since I've been 16, 17 years old. I've been a student of the arts since then. So the reason I'm bringing this up, because it's kind of formulating at a young age. I love basketball. I love the martial arts. You saw both kind of help each other, kind of help people get better. And through all my trials and tribulations, from my first strength conditioning job at Connecticut Community Center when I was 18, 19 years old in San Francisco Tenderloin district, working for kids off the streets. And that was a blast. Helping people get better was intriguing to me. But I wanted to reach the pinnacle. You know, at a young age, I wanted to play in the NBA, but the DNA as it is, that wasn't going to happen as you mature. So coming up in this industry, strength conditioning didn't exist in basketball. You're talking when I was 70. No.
Wow.
It would throw your shot off. It was bad for you. And that was a common theme. Now, I didn't know Kareem was doing it. If I knew Kareem was doing it, everyone would have done it, right?
Yeah.
And Kareem was, a man ahead of his time.
It really was.
So you weren't having podcasts about this, right? So you had to get in to pursue this field. You had to get into football because that's where it was. So I started training football players best I could. I was volunteering with high school basketball teams locally. I always keep my eyes at the top, but it didn't exist at the top of the NBA. So my goal was, get on the 49ers staff. I was a San Francisco kid. You want to work for your hometown team.
Yeah.
And then it was growing at that time. You're talking now late 80s, early 90s. And so now that was getting more and more competitive, and I was making my way doing my graduate work, never thinking I'd ever make the NBA, because it didn't really exist yet in the NBA. And a gentleman who's really should be a strength and conditioning legend, he didn't get enough credit, was Mark Graybo. Mark was the director of athletic development, the first strength coach with the Golden State Warriors.
Oh, wow.
And he worked with Chris Mullen.
Oh, really? Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. So now it's getting some publicity because Mully had his trials and tribulations, and tribute to him, he got over it at a young age and early in the NBA. Got his act together, got his body together, got his mind together, got his game, back on track, and now he becomes a Hall of Famer. But Mark Graybo, who I ended up working with and for the Warriors, was key because he was his man in the corner. He was there working out with them 24/7. So you're reading about it just back in the probably early 90s. That was my first mindset where, hey, this exists and there's a possibility to do something like this.
And continue working towards it.
Yeah, it existed in the NBA. And until then, I was doing it for high school teams and local college, junior colleges, because I loved the game and I loved helping people, and you could see it and help them improve. So that was probably early 90s. And then Mark Graybo, again, his nickname is G-Bo, so I refer to him as G-Bo. And he would do clinics locally, just to help kids out.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
Ended one, and Mark is a phenomenal athlete. So he's on the floor demonstrating his footwork and patterns, and he was a former professional soccer player. So his skill set, his footwork and conditioning was
crazy.
Yeah, crazy, man.
Yeah.
So you're a young coach coming up watching this dude. He's from the Warriors, Chris Mullen, and you're watching this cat on the court going, my gracious, this dude can move. And he's the coach. So that kind of stuff going, hey, there's something to this. So I'm in my late teens, early 20s at that point. So that's when I realized, hey, now there's something to pursuing this. Yeah. And then you go after it, man.
And you just went after it. So you went through like the whole interview process too for the strength and conditioning position, or it was just literally since you were right there,
no,
it was just
no, it didn't exist. You don't interview for that. You can't interview for these jobs, but man, you got to know it's just luck, hard work.
Connections.
My great friend Eric Reveneau always said Rev is now on the staff. He's associate head coach, Georgia Tech. But Rev, I owe a lot to Rev because Rev, got me out. I was working in physical therapy, working in football. Dr. Arthur Ting, and it was his Fremont clinic, and Chris Fetter with 24-Hour Fitness. These names you might not know, but it's important for me to name them. All these people
to put them out. Yeah, gotta give respect.
They introduced me to Eric Reveneau because I'm working at the physical therapy location in Fremont. I was trying to learn my craft in the physical therapy world because I saw in the football world when guys got hurt, I needed to get them from the treatment room out to the field. And I didn't understand it as well. I knew it from a patient's perspective because I'd been in a car accident as a young kid and my body was trashed. That's really why I did this. I would have played something. I wasn't going to coach. I wanted to be, but I couldn't. So I knew it from a patient's perspective, but from a clinical perspective, I didn't know it yet. So working there, they introduced me to Eric Revno, who's now at that time the executive director for the Rikus Center for Human Enhancement, started by Gary Rikus. Gary said now the Rikus Center is booming down there in Menlo Park. It's a big nonprofit facility to really help people pursue their dreams. You know, his passion for music, the outdoors, and sports, and whatever your passion was, you go and go get it. I mean, that was it is a tool for you to get there. So from there, you know, I'm at the Rikus Center, and again, now my eyes get stronger to the pro world. I just came from pro football. I see the world. I saw behind the curtain of the politics of that. And Eric Revno had played at Stanford, had a cup of tea in the NBA, and then played professionally in Japan. Now he's back, got his MBA back at Stanford. He's running the Rikus Center, but he came from the basketball world. And he knows strength and conditioning from his experience as an athlete and from training with Gary, who's a forerunner in the industry, because Gary was doing stuff in the 70s that he was reading about in the Soviet Union that we had no clue over here in America.
Brought some news to the table.
I could go on and on. Yes, yes.
So
as a young guy, I'm learning this stuff, going, wow, this is amazing. And now Rev's marrying basketball to strength and conditioning.
And put them both together.
Like, yes.
That's dope. That's real dope. Yeah. I know you can go on and on and on. About like you. No. It really is. But we'll get to more of the meat and potatoes. So during your 7-year with the Warriors from 2004 and 2011, what was like your typical day like being a strength and conditioning coach? Like would the players come in and then you do certain exercises, or you split them up into groups, or what was like a regular day?
There's nothing typical about the NBA. It's its own world, its own culture, its own language, its own economy. But a typical day is on a practice day in season. Players get up, and you need to be there before them. And you usually go in. Our director of athletic training was Tommy Abdenauer, and his assistant Jan Frank. And so you meet with them, check in with them, see who's getting treatment, what's going on with treatment, check in with Mark, see what's going on with Mark. There's always something going on in that, that little mini culture of an NBA team. So, usually the young guys, the rookies, get in the earliest, and they're getting, in season, they're on the court. They have to get their rookie work in. And this is different now. So I'm probably going to sound aged now. I think rookies right. Rookies didn't have it. It was a different. And I'm very old school, so I'm kind of partial to that.
Yeah.
But rookies had to get to work in before the vets came in.
Oh, wow.
Out of respect, you paid homage to the vets who put their time in. And rookies had to get into work. Rookies typically won't get much burn, won't get many minutes, so you have to get your work in. So they go do the court time, do the weightlifting time, and any type of rehabilitation protocols we would execute at that moment for any players as well. And then Mark and I ran the warm up. So Mark would get, now we meet on the court. If there's any type of meeting prior, you're doing a film video. I tell all strength coaches, anyone in this industry, I learned this at Stanford during my time at Stanford. Even from football, be in the room, learn the vernacular of the coaching staff, because you need to be in parenting or counseling, or medical care, they call it a continuity of care. So if I'm in the weight room using a different language than they are in the treatment room and on the court,
it's gonna be totally different. Yeah.
So days we had meetings, I went to the meetings and I wanted to learn the language, understand it. I'm not trying to be a basketball coach. I need to understand what we're trying to accomplish, and the ultimate goal being winning, but roles of players, language, responsibilities, et cetera, et cetera. So once on the court, we warmed the athletes up. I ran the stretching. You would get them warm up and moving, and then you're practicing. So during practice, our role is really, you stay out of the way, let them do their thing. Everyone's injured, we're working. And the key, I learned this from my man, Keith Irwin, who brought me in. Keith was a strength conditioning coach with the Sacramento Gold Miners once he came out from Rice University. Keith, phenomenal dude, great to me, man. And Keith always would, guys who wanted to, quote unquote, be hurt, not feel well.
But some
guys want to, try hustle and get out of one once in a while. And if it wasn't honorable or righteous or true, you want to make them work. Even if it is true, you want to keep them part of your team. So during the practice, if someone was actually rehabbing or hurt or claimed not to feel well, they were working in sight of their teammates. So they weren't in the back. We couldn't be seen. They're on the side. So everyone can see them. They can communicate, talk to their teammates. They still stay part of the culture, which is very, very important. And their teammates can see the work and get back to join them, which is important as well. So,
okay. It sounds like
practice.
It sounds like a very extensive kind of, intricate, a lot of information and a lot of stuff going on during the typical day for practice.
Yes.
Now, my next question is there like when you get new players that come into like the league or like that come onto the Golden State Warriors for the team, is there like any type of like test or identification process that you do to try to figure out like what players need to work on moving forward, like throughout the NBA season?
Every team's going to have a different operation. Every general manager, president, ownership, strength conditioning staff, training staff. So there's individuality to all that, preferences, etc. But typically the process, your scouts go and identify talent that fits your team and your needs, both internationally, locally, and in the league itself. So I always made sure I talk with our scouts because they're bringing you a lemon. It's tough to make lemon. You're gonna make lemonade, but it's gonna be tough, right? The guy really can't go. So, and then you want to know our business is not rocket science, and when they love to tell you that, especially during negotiating times, right? And I'd say right, and I tell all young coaches, no, ours is a human science. This is human science. Every component of humanity is involved in getting people better. So the more you know about how to tap in and relate to a human being, the better you can help them, help themselves, and help the team. So that was always my first stop, talking to the scouts, what kind of players. And then physically, again, another great friend of mine, Brett Brungard, of Basic Athletic Measurement. I'll give him, the plug he deserves. Bam, he run all the combine testing for the NBA. And those tests have a purpose. And again, from my football background, we test it all the time and getting guys ready for the NFL combine. So those are more general. You change your direction, your explosiveness. But to tell you, what an individual player, an athlete has. Now you get to your team. Yeah, do we have our own sets? Yes. And you always work in conjunction with your medical staff, with Tommy Abdenauer and Frank on the medical side, Dr. Leonard Stein on the chiropractic as far as physical structure, Mark and myself. So ideally, in an ideal world, you're working as a team and you all add your piece, you analyze how well they move, and then you want to see them on the court. So it's a holistic approach. The ones who do it.
And everybody has to like talk to each other, make sure everybody's like on the same page, basically. Yeah. So
have to is different. If you want I guarantee you, the Miami Heat and the Los Angeles Lakers, I would be shocked. Your great franchises, the Golden State Warriors, communication, it has to be
number one.
Egos out the door, man. Leave them at the front door, man. We work together.
Yeah.
WIN. That's in professional sport, any sport. As far as your ultimate goal, that's what you're trying to do, and that takes communication, takes teamwork.
That's really interesting. Really good. So now I know you worked at Stanford as a consultant for strength and training for 3 years, correct? At least.
I was a director center. Eric Revenue gets hired by Coach Mike Montgomery at the time. He's the men's basketball head coach and joins the staff. They want to make a change and adjustment in the strength and conditioning after some frustrations on their end. Coach Montgomery brought me in and hired me to work just for men's basketball.
Got you.
And then I also in the NCAA, I'm not sure that rule still exists, but if you work with a male sport, you have to work with a female sport, or you have to have a balance. So for Title IX purposes, for equity and fairness. So I worked with the women's lacrosse team.
Oh, wow.
They were just getting started, but it was a cool experience because their head coach, Michelle's last name, I don't want to butcher a great last name. She was a national team player. So she was a stud.
Wow.
So I got an Olympic level experience with that. And I worked with men's basketball. And then I befriended Tara Vanderveer, head coach Vanderveer, and her staff. They were great people. She saw what we were doing, liked what we were doing. She brought me in, so I was working for Tara. I worked for 2 Hall of Famers, and it was just incredible experience.
That's dope. That's really dope. Experience. So since you had like that kind of college experience, can you see like if college players are ready, to make that next step or make that next leap into like the NBA? Can you kind of like see that working with, you said the men's basketball team? Can you see them jump into that next level?
Can you see it? Yeah, it's in front of you. And it's changed a lot. Back then, our big star player was Josh Childress. He was coming out of LA.
Played for the Atlanta Hawks. Yeah, big pro.
Great kid. Childress, great kid. He was a big star. And we had Casey Jacobson, who you guys should know because Jake was an amazing college player and had a great pro career. Jake was the current star, and Stanford was rolling, man. So you get there. Can you identify those guys? Yes. To be a pro is different, and I always use my Al Bianchi rule. I met Al; he was an old school scout with the Warriors when I got there, and Al, obliterated an early pre-draft talk, and scouts and analytics was just starting to take traction in the league. We called them statistics; they call them analytics, but it was not the forefront areas right now. And old school guys oftentimes kind of cringe. You have to embrace and keep growing. But Al was old school, and he said, "Man, if a player doesn't have the mind, the heart, and the guts," and he said it in a much more colorful New York fashion.
Yeah.
I don't care what they do. So, can you identify those? You look for those. It's not just is he or she athletic? That's great if they're athletic, but if they're here
mentally.
So can you see those? Yes. And it's not just during a game when they're performing. That's definitely key. That's the ultimate. But how they treat themselves, the teammates, what are their habits? Are they excellent habits or are they sloppy habits? Are they champion habits, pro habits, or are they sloppy habits? Are they amenable to working? So you learn what to look for, to your point.
Yeah, that's good.
54 now, I'm much better at seeing it than I was at 24, 34, 44.
Really, having that experience over, multiple athletes, multiple years, you get to just see and watch that. So
just like anything, it's repetition, right? You just see it, and then coaches can't have egos. You got to be able to, sometimes players will tell you, let them see it, let them tell you. You don't already kind of give them a label, and don't give them a chance to be themselves, but also be aware of what they're telling you.
Yeah, that's real good. Real good.
That makes some sense.
Yeah, no, it did. It really did. So I know one of your most you have a long, extensive list of accomplishments that I saw, and it just went on and on and on, which is fantastic. But I noticed that you did work in Europe for their national basketball team, Latvian basketball team, and then and then you worked in Japan for one of their basketball teams as well. So
yes, I worked for 2 or 3 different professional teams in Japan, and the Latvian team. When I was with the Warriors, their big star and our young center we drafted on my first year with the Warriors was Andres Biedrins. He was great, phenomenal. Phenomenal. He got wronged in many ways, but Andres was the Latvian big star, so he was going back to play for the national team. And NBA teams, cringe because they go back home and they're not training at the NBA level. So Molly worked it out to send me over there to work with Andres and then work with the team. Phenomenal people, awesome experience. So I spent a lot of time over there, both with the national team and then work with Andres and his crew.
That's dope. So can you see, since you worked all over, can you see specific, differences between Japanese basketball players and NBA basketball players, or can you distinguish the difference? And
oh my God, yeah. I mean, it's less so now. The basketball is invented by a Canadian, but it's an American game, and it comes from our streets and our neighborhoods. So there's a soul to it, and I'm old school, but there's a documentary that you have to zig. You got to have people see it. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is one of the executive producers on it. I think it's on the shoulders of the Giants. It's a history of the game at Harlem.
Oh, wow.
It's about the Harlem Rams and the Boston Celtics and how two different cultures from African American and Irish American and white American, how they then initially were separate, how they come together with the game, which is beautiful. It's an awesome story.
Okay.
But in basketball, it's the beauty of the game, man. It brings people together, man, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone in our industry should see it because it's humbling, it's enlightening, it's empowering, and it's inspiring.
What was the name again?
I believe it's named called On the Shoulders of Giants.
On the Shoulders of Giants. Okay, definitely we'll check that out.
Harlem Renaissance Hotel. Kareem is one of the executive producers. Everyone in basketball should watch. Everyone in sports. Now, everyone in the country right now should watch that.
So watch it. Yeah, definitely should. Yeah, with everything that's going on. Yeah.
So can you see differences that back then? Most definitely. And the game was smaller, so you weren't doing this. So this is about communication together. So I could tell guys from Japan because they moved. You could tell guys from China and Latvia. There's a different rhythm and beat to how they moved, and they were coming up in the game. Now the game is everywhere. One of my clients this past few years has been a local high school in San Francisco, and their coach, St. Ignatius High School, and their head coach was Rob Marcoletti, and his associate head coach was Ollie Thomas, and Ollie played professionally overseas. So he saw the overseas world and he appreciated it. So we had a chance to go over to Taipei, Taiwan the last few years and compete in international tournaments there.
Oh, wow.
So I was seeing teams from Japan and China and South Korea. And that was amazing because the game had elevated. You could tell they weren't moving like they were 20 years ago. And they had caught up and they really applied themselves. There were signs of it, but it was amazing to see.
That's good.
It was amazing.
Wow. Yeah. So on to, working with Andres Biedrins and stuff like that. So do you have did you have any certain like training regimens for those top players like Biedrins and like Troy Murphy, who was on the team, and like Baron Davis and Monte Ellis? Do you separate like, okay, taller guys have to do more, extensive weight training, or like the guards have to do more type of footwork exercises?
Do you customize it to the player?
Yeah.
To a certain degree, yes. I mean, I tell all strength coaches again, another great name, a legend, Al Vermeil. Google him, learn from him, Al. And I was with the Chicago Bulls, started with the 49ers when they were big with Montana and Joe and Dwight Clark and getting started, and then ended up with the Bulls. And I would go back and study from Al when they were rolling. Al was great to me, man. Just great. Just learning. So it was an epicenter, still is an epicenter of knowledge and learning and connecting to the world of strength and conditioning. So I learned from there too. You don't just write a cookie cutter program and apply it to Murph, who was a big, to BD, who was a young guard, to Monte Ellis, who was a rook coming in, who never touched a weight in his life. So yes, you customize physically and then emotionally and mentally, how you communicate and talk and deal with them. I mean, it's a people business, it's a human science. So, some guy you can talk to differently and someone else, but you have to also be consistent and hold everyone accountable. So, and there's general physical components. Our bodies need to squat, our bodies need to press, our bodies need to pull. That has not changed over thousands of years.
Yeah.
The tools in which you want to apply it, do you have, and our egos get infested and etc. But so there's components to what we work on. So, and again, my background in physical therapy, working in it, both as a patient and then working in it as an industry, I had that concern where I knew things could break down. So I have a whole proactive component of healthcare we integrate into our methodologies and approaches. So that was also that's also part of the foundation. And then the big thing was breathing. And I'm from martial arts and working with martial arts and then working with military people as well. Breathing is the most important thing we do, and we don't do it right for the most part. So there's always those foundational pieces you have. You want to make sure everyone hits those foundations, from breathing to trunk work and core work and dynamic flexibility, Olympic lifting and mechanics of movement to jumping to sprinting. But you kind of find to everyone, Monte Ellis was a rookie out of Jackson, Mississippi, man. He never touched a weight in his life. So you got to build a foundation with him. Or with Andres. Andres had lifted. He had lifted in, Eastern European influence there. So he had a great Olympic foundation, but we had to fine tune it. Baron Davis came to us as, a young veteran, wild in spirit, wild in heart, phenomenal, and a beat up body. So we had to do different things with him. And Troy Murphy was different. So, God rest his soul, Cliff Robinson was a veteran. Cliff, you talk to Cliff differently, let alone lift with him.
Yeah. And I think that's a big component too, just knowing, like you said earlier, knowing, you talk to another player differently than how you would talk to, a different player. Like this, you got to find that fine tune between, that one player and also, reiterating what you need to work on and stuff like that, and having that tone with that player. I think that's very, important as well.
It's key. I mean, I'm not a yeller in the shower. I'm not going to go punk a guy, and I'm going to be loyal as long as you reciprocate that loyalty. The key thing is accountability. You can't be wavering on the rules to one player, then it doesn't. It's not going to work. They're going to know you're a fake.
Got to be equal. Yeah.
Equal, but you got to be accountable, man. We're here to do one thing, and on a team at that level, you're here to win. If you're not about getting better to win, man, just about you, that's fine. But you go back and say, this guy's not right. He or she's not down to win, and that's
a big thing.
But That's huge. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to have, what's our mindset? What's our culture about? We're trying to win. Or you're just trying to get your next contract. If you are, I understand that, man. That's just because I never heard of a winner who gets after it who has a bad way of it. You know what I'm saying? You got to
Yeah.
be rewarded.
Mm-hmm.
So, I didn't mean to go roundabout, but do you customize it? Yes.
Yeah.
But you have to get the foundational points that are imperative no matter who you are.
Mm-hmm. That's good. And then my next question was, so Curry came into the league, and we all know at the beginning of his career he had like a lot of ankle injuries that kind of hindered, cut his season short. So was there like any um what was it like the coming back, the step by step like coming back process for Curry to like get his ankle straight, and make sure that his ligaments are tight and stuff like that before he went on and played?
So we draft Steph. Steph's a young kid, but he'd come from the pro world. He's come from lineage, so he'd come from a different background.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, those guys aren't going to be good players. Did you see him being a Hall of Famer? No. He's a great kid. I mean, he's better in person. If you ever get to meet Steph, he's better human being than you see him now. He's gotten so big, it's mind blowing. But he's a great kid. He's a great human being, wow. Man. So, and that was, he walks into our weight room. He wasn't, he's taller than people think. He's 6'3" man. I mean, 180 pounds, but he was, he's a young kid coming out of college.
Yeah.
So he's already on the, he's already on the kind of the runway of fame. You can tell. So he had a busy offseason. Now, you can't fake an offseason. If you want to, be the best, you have to prepare for it. And, at the time, Kobe Bryant, God rest Kobe's soul, man, but Kobe was the best in the league. And he was the best not just because he woke up and was the best, because he woke up early, trained 3 times a day in the offseason. Wow. He was always in a state of readiness. He didn't, use it to get ready. He was ready to roll, right? Mm-hmm. Always. So if he's the best, you better be mimicking what he's doing. Well, Steph at a young age had a busy offseason, and they weren't about training too much at a young age, right? Mm-hmm. So we'd get him, and he'd walk in, early preseason, mid-September, and he was often early on in his career, he wasn't prepared to be at that level.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's young. He was learning. He's trying to balance.
Still trying to get used to it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's now he's a different dude, I'm sure, in the off season. But so back then, you have to prepare him. You can't fake the work, and you can't take up 4 months of work in 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. So that was the challenge. So what did we do? You had to calm his body down and get him right. You had to put an off season in the preseason.
Mm-hmm. Put them together.
And if you look at Lenny, then he would get together, and he'd stay together. Mm-hmm. And he was great with me. I mean, he in his defense and our defense, it was a wild culture at the time with the Warriors, because you had an ownership that was 1 foot out the door. Everyone knew it. You could feel it. Winning wasn't a concern. It wasn't a party. It didn't exist. It was kind of every man for himself to a certain degree. You're trying to navigate this craziness. He's a young kid coming in the league on, what is this? Yeah. We had a young veteran on the team trying to get through, and everyone really, players wanted to come together, but you had to kind of pull things. So he's in a culture of chaos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, trying to balance that with, being a rookie and stuff like that. It's a lot. Yeah.
Not conducive as it showed, and it wasn't conducive to being what they are now. So, in his defense, it was crazy. So you had to kind of navigate the craziness, the crazy time to get a young guy ready. Mm-hmm. And once he showed up, and he was great. I worked with Steph 2-3 times a day, every day, all the time. So, and he did the work. He was a phenomenal worker. Once you can get him, you got him there. Now it's scheduled into his itinerary daily. I see him now doing stuff. He's ripped all the time. You can tell he's ready. Mm-hmm. So he's learned that. Now, obviously, look at the results he's gotten both for him and his team. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's interesting. Really interesting. So I know you kind of talked about it in your answer, but like the off season, and Steph was trying to get ready and stuff like that during the off season. Now, in particular, is your training regimen like during the off season and the actual season? During the off season, do you is there a schedule? Like, okay, the first month we're gonna do light lift weight training, and then like once we get closer to the season, we're going to do like more heavier lifting and more, explosive movements and stuff like that. Is there like a schedule on like how you approach, exercises and stuff?
I mean, within a strength and training and conditioning or strength conditioning curriculum, there's a calendar. Time is your friend, but also be your enemy if you don't maximize and utilize it correctly. So you build your macro calendar. And in an NBA season, you know the bottom line is winning, and you need to, if you're going to win, you got to be ready to go in June. So, and you got to be able to, that's it. Got to be the mindset, because that's when the playoffs are coming. That's when the champions you get. So it's a long stretch. So you can't burn out in August. But at the same token, you have to have the preparation. So yes, you do. You do it for the season. You do it for the individual. You do it for the team demands. So, and each it's kind of like it's like walking a set of stairs.
Step by step.
Next step. And it sounds corny, but that's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
Have times when it is time to go heavy, because the way muscles get stronger to resist heavier weights, heavy resistances. But you have to do it safely and smartly. And you have to customize it to the individual athlete, and they're coming off an injury, so things like that. How old are they? Those type of situations, where the demands of their game. So you definitely customize as far as intensities and volumes and what have you. No doubt. Probably the biggest thing I've learned, this is almost post my NBA career, as far as the strength coach on the staff. I do it more now with the teams I consult for and the athletes. We'll lift heavier in season.
Oh, really?
Because often in season, if people lay off, I don't want to throw my body off of fatigue. And coaches are always worried, those who don't understand strength and conditioning, it's going to kill my players. Well, if you do it wrong, you will. But if you apply the forces correctly, i.e. you don't do 4 sets of 8 at a heavy intensity, you might do 3 sets of 3 at a heavy intensity, but you're keeping the body sharp, you're keeping that foundation of strength there, which is imperative, because the season goes on.
And it's long, wears on you.
Yeah.
And
you need that physical foundation. So that's the biggest change. If I had gone back, I would have added that. Now, initially, vets would think you're crazy. Then they start feeling it, and it's like, I feel fantastic.
I feel good. Yeah. So, go ahead.
No, that's and probably I first started doing that because we lift on game days. I get into it, and vets started liking it. Like Steven Jackson, Monte Ellis, they're all right. And I have my guys, and they were balling. They could feel their bodies.
Yeah,
and they felt better. That was part of the first thing I said. You know what, man? There's something to lifting on game days. You wouldn't kill them. The volume was light, so we weren't doing a bunch of sets and repetitions, but the intensity was high, just to kind of get them. Use the word
get them going. Yeah.
And again, it's communication. If he went out and had a bad night because his body was, felt fatigued, then we back off. But if they went out on a bad night because your mind was somewhere else, that was different. So you had to make sure they could delineate between, man, your mind wasn't there, but your body was.
Body was, yeah.
That goes back to our point of communication.
Yeah. So there was one thing that you said in your answer. So wear and tear, long nights, or traveling, airplane and stuff like that. So you had the chance to travel with the team, right?
With the team,
the whole time. Yeah,
whole thing. You're there the whole time. I mean, the strength conditioning coaches, you're there all the time. You're there in the in season, off season, you're there all the time with the players. You spend probably the most time with the players.
So at one point, did you feel like fatigued, like the players too? Traveling, getting the exercise regimen ready for each player and stuff like that.
No question. I mean, no question. You're not going to see a deconditioned coaching staff for anyone from strength conditioning, because you can't survive. I mean, one, it's about example, but most of two, your health. I mean, it's and I'm an intense dude. If you're keeping score, I want to win. So better for worse. And you're after a game, you don't just go back to your hotel room or back home and just relax. Win, lose, or draw. If you care about it all, about what you're winning, you don't relax. So
wow.
The biggest thing, and they've gotten better at this, and from my understanding, when I read and talk to my friends, and then still in the industry, sleep. They're massive sleep disorders. I still have problems. At nighttime, my wife sees me 11, 12. I kind of get amped. So definitely it changes everything, because it's a different culture, it's a different world, it's a different schedule, and you're constantly in different time zones. So it's a
struggle.
That part of the game. It's a massive challenge, and it's not conducive to a healthy lifestyle. So you have to be like mind your P's and Q's, which is sometimes a challenge.
Yeah. I read something online too that, with the whole COVID thing going on and, all players went to Miami and stayed in like the bubble and stuff like that. I saw one article saying that the NBA might do like a baseball style season where, the Lakers would play Miami for like 3 days and they'll be like in Miami. And then, they'll move on to the next team and then they'll stay in that city for, X amount of days. Do you think that will be better for the players in order to like, recover and have that, time to sit back, relax, and don't have to like get on a flight to, go to the next city or next state, after the game?
Yeah, yes. I mean, yes and no. I mean, if you're spending 3 or 4 days in Miami with the Cats, that could be dangerous, or New York City or LA.
Yeah.
Your team, that could be dangerous. But 82 games, back-to-backs, the business side makes sense. I understand that. The basketball side makes no sense.
Wow.
Now, you talk to old school guys, the old school guys that I had a great chance to work with and be around and learn from, Al Attles, Jimmy Barnett, Sidney Moncrief. They played in different time and era, and they taught me many, many lessons. I mean, Al talks about doing, and Jimmy doing, 3 games in a row, flying commercially in first flight in the morning. So whole nother level. So and without them, we're not here. So part of you kind of goes, you suck it up and do it. But 82 times, that's ridiculous.
That's a lot. Yeah.
That's not good basketball. Giving the game away, give a game away because I'm tired. I mean, it's understandable from a human perspective, but man, give a game away, man. But it's human. You're tired. You got to be smart. So the game is the players, man. Without the players, there is no game. So I would do everything that we can to put the players in the best situation to be their very best. So, and now with COVID, it's a whole nother world with this pandemic. It's a reality that is real.
Yeah.
Whether you like it, it's real. So we embrace the challenge and find the best ways. If we can come out of this better, that's better for the players, better for the game, and better for everyone's health. I applaud it, and yes, that's an emphatic yes.
All for it.
All for it.
That's good. I thought that was really interesting. I never really thought of it like that because I feel like, a lot of players play their best, when they're well rested and ready for the game and stuff like that. But I mean, the NBA is just so used to flying and, working on X amount of hours of sleep that it's just become like a custom to the players.
You have no choice. But I mean, what people don't understand, they don't see behind the scenes. I mean, by all means, it's very glamorous as far as the quality. But after a while, you don't even know what hotel you're in. I remember getting out of a hotel. I don't even know what hotel. I don't even know what city we're in. On the hotel, in the elevator, I'm on with Mully and Mitch Richmond, and we look at each other and go, "Where are we? What floor are we on?"
Wow.
Meeting breakfast, and we were just kind of like, "Where are we?" It was probably a long road trip, and you kind of laugh and shrug and go, "Oh man." But
it is what it is. You
miss your families, which is huge. You miss being home. You miss a lot. You miss a lot.
Yeah.
So if they can do things that can, accentuate that. I mean, these players are human beings.
Yep. At the end of the day, yeah.
Well, at the beginning of the day too.
Not just there. Begin the whole day. Yeah.
Man, you want to see right now? I see Miami and LA be their best because they're healthy, they're safe, they're rested. I mean, you wouldn't go to a concert and you don't go to see your best performers, no matter what art you love, and see them on a third day of a run when they're dog tired.
Yeah, it's just not the same.
They're tired. So I want to go watch, someone who's at their best, not be their best because of a funky schedule. If no.
That's good. Yeah, that was an interesting topic that I wanted to ask you. Now, moving forward, like some more of the basketball drills that you had with the players, was there any drill that was your favorite that you love doing with the players, like the players love? And if so, could you walk us through that drill?
The best thing for me, really, drills all now. I mean, as far as exercise and training, but bottom day you have to compete. And you have to play. So you can be the best driller in the world, but I want to see you on the court. So for me, I love watching a scrimmage when it was, when you had your ones playing your twos type of situation. You had young guys or guys trying to get minutes, playing. I want to see them play, to be honest with you. So I want to see him scrimmage when scrimmage made, it had something to it. Fall in love with someone in the drill. it's a drill. And I've seen you can turn on a drill, but I want to see when the lights come on and the popcorn starts popping, what you got.
Yeah.
It's smaller things, man. It's like after a loss, a tough loss, people back in the morning doing their film work, doing their treatment, doing their training. The most impressive thing probably that stuck with me, I was furious. We were all mad. Jason Richardson, the Warrior, Saginaw, Michigan's finest. Jay Rich, best, awesome human being.
Man.
It was after one of our losses, and Jay missed a final free throw, and he would never do that. He was more mad at himself. He couldn't even walk in the locker room.
Wow.
After the game, you walk in, you meet, and then guys after the meeting, guys get treatments, they break down, media's let in, etc. Jay was, and he's a sweetheart of a dude, but he's a warrior. He was a true warrior.
Yeah.
He wanted to be left alone, and when the whole arena was empty, he went back out and worked on his free throws for hours. So that's probably something
that's crazy.
Less than any type of drill. So it's more, really, it's more seeing things that you have drive, you have commitment, you have that fire and passion. And I don't really care what drill it is per se, but are you going to have those, my Bianchi Big Three, I just say, you're going to show you your mind, your body, and your heart, and your guts. And if I can find drills and you're going to show those to me, then, but as far as a go-to drill, I want to see you play. Let's get to it.
I want to see you play. That's my favorite drill. See you play. Yeah, bringing that intensity. Yeah, and I think that shows a lot about, the player's character. Because now you see people or players that, missed the final three-pointer to win the game. And I think it was Kyrie Irving. He missed a three-pointer against, I forgot what team. But, he stayed after an empty arena just shooting three-pointers the whole time. And I think that shows a lot of character for the NBA players and knowing that they want to get to the point that they want to get to and will do anything possible to get to there.
Yeah, and my biggest thing now, because people bring these things on, bring phones and what. Don't tell me about it. I don't want to see it on Instagram. I come from the martial arts world. The best guys I ever saw, you weren't even allowed to watch them work. They didn't want you seeing them, right?
Wow.
So that's where, when you hear about it through the grapevine, that's one thing. But guys want to promote it.
It's totally different.
So, great. One of my young players, Sione Tafu. So he's big in the football world. Sione always talks about doing your quiet work, the lonely work. That's his term for it.
Yeah.
And that's really what greatness is. To really, really, you might want to say you want to be great or be a great player or work, but are you willing to make the sacrifice to do the lonely work?
Yeah.
When no one's around. That's more what I'd look for personally.
Now, going back to kind of like the drills and like exercises and stuff like that, was there any type of, I know now, from back then we have a lot more different equipment now that we can use to measure, players' abilities and stuff like that. But was there any like special equipment during your time with the Warriors that you used to measure, their strengths or weaknesses? Or was it just, exercising and seeing what was weak and that was like your special equipment?
Sure. You got to be careful. It's not a weightlifting game. It's a basketball game, and the weightlifting is a foundation to put them in situations. So what do we, certain things we do? Yes. We look at lower extremity strength. Another great sports scientist, physical therapist who I studied with years ago, he's still doing his thing, Dr. Donald Chu, and he had a single leg squat exercise. I think it's based on X percent of body weight of the individual. I have the formula in my notes, and we use it. But we do that. We need a single leg squat. We want to see what kind of integrity they have. Because you're also seeing it taxes someone. It taxes an athlete mentally because you have to push past your comfort zone. If individuals came from a bad situation where they weren't accustomed to lifting, you also see that as well. So that was a tool. Which goes back to assessing and using tools. When you get a new player, you want to talk to your scouts. You definitely want to see their combine results. Their advanced scores. It gives you an idea what their physical abilities are. And then I'd watch them play. You want to watch them play. You want to watch them scrimmage, watch the drills. I used to talk to Rico Hines. I worked with on our staff. Russ Turner. Stephen Silas. Coach Smarty, Keith Smart. I can go on and on. All the coach I worked with, Philly Handy. I had Philly as a player years ago now.
Oh, wow. Now he works with the Lakers. Yeah.
Philly and I would do stuff. So you talk to the coaches. What do you see from the basketball side? What do we see from our side? then approach it that way. That makes sense, as opposed to, if someone jumps out of the gym, the vertical jump, that'll never change. It's a great sign. If they can sprint, that's 20
great.
meter back.
Yeah.
The lane agility drill. We've learned through our band work, and Brett Brungard has talked about that. We learned it 20 years ago. Wasn't that big of a deal. 10 years ago, we might have pushed it out. We've learned through our research and data, as they get better in that lane agility drill, if they get faster, they jump higher. So that's been something we've learned as we've gone over. That 5 years ago, if I had done that, I probably would not have said that. Wow. So that's something we want to see them, because we've seen it as they come more proficient in that drill. Again, it's having an impact on the rest of their physiological abilities. So,
wow, yeah, that's really interesting. So no, using a VO2 machine to see how well the NBA player can breathe, because there's a lot of studies now, or a lot of articles saying having a higher volume of VO2 max or higher oxygen consumption can benefit the player, but that wasn't the case back then, right? It was just kind of.
No, I mean we did. No, man, this is what we did do. Pat Riley. He's still doing it, man. So you can't say it doesn't work. We did the Riley sprint drill.
Wow.
Back and forth 10 times in time.
Wow.
With the rest, and you're gonna get in shape. Do we use heart rate monitors in that? Yes, we did. Again, I go back to my martial arts world. We use none of this stuff, and you learn. Sidney Moncrief always said, a player knows his body best. He or she will know their body best. So I'm not trying to, put all these new gadgets down. They have phenomenal roles, but the body's going to tell you. And I've been doing martial arts almost 40 years, and we don't use any gadgets.
Yeah.
Feel. Wow. I'm not saying you just go on that, but you can't be desensitize ourselves to that. So, but the Riley sprint drill, you're going to see it real quick. I need a machine. You've been doing your work. You're going to crush this, and we got the time. You can see them. If they're down breathing heavy, they can't get up in between. They can't knock out those 5. Then we have an issue. So that's kind of really, because again, the reason Zig, I say that, because on the court, even though they want to put so much tech into it, players play. It's the player's game.
Yeah.
If you're going to see him real quick, if a guy can't go. If he or she is not prepared, you're going to see very fast. So these tools are great tools, but what old school guys say, eye test.
Just looking at it. Yeah. Very interesting. So last question, and then I have 3. Well, next question, and then after that I have 3 just kind of fun questions and stuff like that. But my next main question before we kind of wrap this up, you see players now like LeBron James, who is built and really worked on his body throughout the years. It spends millions of dollars on his body for that. And then you see players let's just say,
they say again, he spends millions and millions of dollars, right?
A lot of money, to put work into his body and stuff like that. Man. So do you think and LeBron's NBA history, he hasn't had extensive injuries at all. He never seen a long where he's out half the season. It's just kind of minor injuries, but he's been active like this for 17 years. So what's your insight of how players can keep that physique and keep that body power, that body mass throughout that 17 years? Because usually at his age, that late in his twilight career, you start to see him decrease in his productivity, and isn't as big as he is. So what's your kind of insight of keeping your body prime and ready throughout your whole NBA career? Because I know it's wear and tear, jumping, coming down, cutting really fast, and it's a lot of extensive movements on the body. So what's your kind of insight to how to keep that physique moving forward, or keep your same body?
First, he's hope he's good to his mom, because that's amazing DNA. I mean, you start with that.
Man,
amazing DNA.
Yeah.
And Bron is also still the travel, the stress. He's a worldwide icon. So I mean, he can't leave the house without being on a microscope. So I couldn't imagine that. I wouldn't want to be that. I couldn't imagine. So, and that stress is exponentially tougher than any stress on a basketball game. That's the easy part. I would think. I can't speak to it. I'm not at that level, but being around it enough, brutal. So his mental drive, his mental commitment. I mean, I tip my hat to I call him a kid. I first met Bronny when he was out here out here in the Bay Area,
Mm-hmm.
The Oakland Soldiers brought him out for a game. I heard about this kid killing it from Akron, Ohio. I didn't even barely heard of Akron. What's he doing out here in Berkeley,
Yeah.
California,
Yeah.
Oakland? So I don't know him. But I just saw this little young kid balling. Like, my gracious.
Mm-hmm.
And now, 20 some odd years later, he's doing this. So it seems to be that he realized he wanted to be great. And that's an intestinal fortitude. He's got the Bianchi Big Three. He's got a mind of a warrior, a heart of a warrior, guts of a warrior. And he made that commitment. And he learned from the best. And the best ahead of him was, Michael took it to a whole other level. Larry and Matt, the generation was different back then.
Mm-hmm.
That was, remember, back in the early in this talk, that was back in the football days, and they thought it was probably bad for you for the most part. Michael comes around and learns, goes in the Bulls, and the Bulls were already doing it when he got there. He takes it, and he's a phenomenal player. But their whole culture was about being prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And then he leads to Kobe, right? And when we get there, Bron comes in, Kobe's doing it. So if you want to be the best, that cat is the best.
Mm-hmm.
So Bron is taking that to a whole another level. So I tip my hat to him as far as his mental commitment, his time commitment. Physically, he's phenomenally gifted, like we mentioned.
Yeah.
But he works his butt off to do it. He probably won't, and should he tell everyone? I wouldn't tell everyone I do. You want to do yourself, find out.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's he doing? The big three is this: his rest. He's smart about it. He appears to be smart about his rest, his nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hide that, right? Which incorporates hydration. His whole lifestyle. The guy's an amazing dude.
Yeah.
You don't talk about the school he started back home when he's doing helping kids in his neighborhood. That's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
So those he's got his rest, nutrition, hydration with that, and his life is right. The training is the easy part, is my guess. Probably just making the time, right? The commitment and carving that time out. It's amazing. It's just, like him or hate him, whatever you want to say, you can't refute him because it's irrefutable. He's doing it. Like you said, 17 years.
Yeah, long time.
That's incredible. He's not slowing down.
Yeah, not at all. No sign, which is crazy.
It's in fact, the most incredible thing to me is his will to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Just if obviously he's been very smart and astute as a businessman on the business side with his life, and it seems like he's gone down. He's got a beautiful family. Man, the sunset's right there, brother. You've earned it.
Yeah.
You couldn't blame him for doing that. Yet he's still gone. And I guess he'll start his off season probably in a few weeks.
Yeah, no, just quick. Yeah. So get back home, get right back to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's a different wired cat, man. But he's doing it right. Again, too, it's not easy. I know as you get older, much older. It gets harder.
It gets harder, to keep,
Okay, what is Bronny? 36 now? How old is he now? 36?
35. I think his birthday is in December, so I think he turns 36.
He's only 36 and he's still doing it?
Yeah.
Good gracious, man.
Still pushing, still moving forward.
Amazing. But it's hard, but it's and for every hour he's playing, competing on an NBA floor for a game, he's probably, it's close to 20 to 30 is my guess, from sleep and all the preparation, et cetera, training, resting, nutrition, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
It's harder and it takes more. So, you know what? I know everyone out there, enjoy it, honor it, because you don't get it to me like this ever.
Not at all. No. Cool. So before we wrap this up, I just got like 3 kind of like fun questions just to ask. But so what is your favorite basketball movie of all time?
The way I mentioned On the Shoulders of Giants, because it's real, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's humbling, but it also brings out the beauty of the game. That's more of a documentary, so we can call it a movie.
Oh, okay, got you.
And you know what? The one that was funny was the one Will Ferrell did about and Woody Harrelson about the old ABA.
The tropical.
Yeah.
Tropical Thunder. Yeah.
Because it's just there's a focus to the beauty of the game, man. So it wasn't about the losers and all that, but the game's a beautiful game, man, and it brings people together. And it kind of captures some of the funkiness and the vibe to it.
Yeah, that was a funny movie. Yeah.
It was hokey and funny, but there's things intertwined in that with the beauty of the game. And that's what But On the Shoulders of Giants, you have to see it, because that's just it's phenomenal.
Hmm. So what back when you worked with the Warriors, what was your best pre-game meal like before the game? Like what would you eat? Was there anything different for you eat, on off day, or was there like a
For
certain like
me as a
yeah,
coach,
yeah.
you know what, man, I made the mistake one time. This,
Hmm.
stay indigenous. I was in San Antonio with this. I
Hmm.
ordered pregame, and I ordered a nice poached salmon and a side of rice and all the steamed broccoli. I'm not trying to be healthy,
Yeah.
but there are no oceans in San Antonio. Man, I got sick as hell.
Wow.
So eat locally. I should have had something that nice Mexican meal would have been smart. No,
Hmm.
really, game days I was so jacked up, man.
Really?
Yeah,
Man,
yeah. And if you yeah, just no, yeah, I just
just
so
wasn't, yeah.
uh, they definitely stuff that was local because it was healthier and cleaner,
Hmm.
and I got a sissy stomach to begin with, so nothing too fancy as far as flamboyant or extravagant on the flavor side, and probably a nice solid. Depends where I was. Whatever was local, I was gonna eat local and clean and
Hmm. Got you.
simple.
It's simple.
Uh, and simple. It's
Hmm.
not to like way after the late night after a game I could really I could calm down. So I just
Hmm.
look how I talk, man. I get excited
You
talking
get
about it. So.
it. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Game days, man. What are we
Game day
doing? We
was,
winning, man. Let's go.
you
Hop
said, oh,
on,
you all ready?
let's get cracked.
Yeah, all ready for it.
Yeah, I would have been a nutty player. Probably would have put me in the
Man.
cage.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
So, so was there any like pregame meals that you gave like the players, or not you specifically, but that they would eat before the game, or like this is what
Yeah,
you
man.
have to eat
You
before,
know what we
or
call them? Zig? Winning
just
vittles. Winning
winning
vittles, man.
winning vittles.
Whatever makes it's important because now you're talking about a culture of guys from all over the world now.
Yeah. Hmm.
So I learned from Jackson, Mississippi to South Central LA, that's different cuisines. To Port
It
Arthur,
is.
Texas, to back to Jersey, to a dude from Brooklyn, right? Everyone's got a different palates.
Hmm.
So if you got to respect it, you got to make sure you've got to be, again, like kind of like the lifting we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
There's foundational pieces you want to have, but man, if fried catfish and mac and cheese to get you cracking before a game, then and
Then so be it.
you
Then go
playing,
ahead.
let's go.
Wow. Uh-huh. So you
Earlier in my
just
career, I would have been more uptight about it, right?
yeah.
I've gone older, man. You can't do that every day because it's going to catch up with you.
Hmm.
But get you in your comfort zone and your rhythm and your mood. Let's
And
go. Now,
whatever.
do we have? I made supplement drinks.
Hmm.
Made replacement shakes pregame for a lot of guys. Derek Fisher was, intricate. D. Fish knew exactly what he wanted, from organic peanut
Wow.
butter to certain oils, and so I
Wow.
knew it. Steven
Wow.
Jackson had his how he wanted. Steph
Hmm.
liked it his way. Matty Barnes his way.
Hmm.
Andres Monte. So I
Like
had to
a certain
customize.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I mean, from how thicknesses to coldness to flavors.
Wow.
So again, it goes back to this, Zig. What's the bottom line is winning.
Yeah. At the
What's
end of the
key
day.
to get you right?
Hmm. That's good. So my last question before we wrap this up. So 2007, 2006, 2007 season, Warriors played against the Mavericks, and the
Question.
host. Huh? Would you say? I'm sorry.
That's a loaded question. So go ahead. Will
Well,
we believe on me now?
the we yeah. So during the whole series, they upsetted them and stuff like that. You had Baron Davis on the
We
team and
did.
Matt
Oh
Beverly.
yeah.
Yeah, you guys, and that was a phenomenal series. What was it like in the locker room after you guys had upset the number one seed?
It was surreal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from here. This is my hometown, right? So this is walking out onto the floor. We get home. We split in Dallas, and we're walking out on the floor pregame. And you walk into the arena. Everything was. This is the first time they had some young fella in the neighborhood, somewhere in Oakland, had his We Believe shirts.
Wow.
And now all you saw was yellow.
Mm-hmm.
And you heard this rumble. And we're being from the Bay Area and Oakland, San Francisco area. Earthquakes happen all the time. You kind of,
Yeah.
but it felt like that. Like, is there a quake going on? But it was going too long.
That loud.
The energy in there was palpable. It was amazing. It was a sea of yellow, and it was just a thunderous roar constantly. You couldn't hear.
Yeah.
So, but the time we did it, and it was once the clock winds down, I forget how it all happened. I just sat back. It's kind of like you. So I sat back. I wanted to enjoy it and just enjoy it. At that time, I was kind of security for the team. Didn't have security like we did. Molly asked me to kind of help keep an eye on guys. So I want to make sure guys were healthy. But when you played at home in Oakland, it was family, man. I mean, you couldn't be in a safer place, especially to play. It was surreal. From the color of yellow everywhere, the happiness, the smiles on people's faces, the sound of it. It was like one sound. Does that make any sense?
Wow,
it was
just
often
thunderous sound, just
thunderous passion.
Wow.
Awesome. You know, being from here, it was awesome. So when the clock wound down, I just sat back and kind of smiled. It's kind of
yeah.
At that point,
surreal. Wow.
You have to come out. You know, when we our first game, we take it from Dallas. That first game one, and then Nelly had recruited Dwight. You know, I'm sorry, Dwight. I can picture my man Dirk. You know, Dirk Nowitzki was phenomenal.
Footwork is crazy.
Yeah, phenomenal. And their team was phenomenal. But he, you know, our guys were hard-nosed cats, and they weren't pretending.
Yeah.
And they took it to him. And we saw it. We go, know what Nelly's telling how guys do that, you know, to defend him this way and how we approached it. I think we can do this.
Wow. Yeah, have that mentality.
That was probably when we had, you know what, man, we're gonna get this. So it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, that's all the questions I have for you. Thank you so much for taking your time out and responding. And taking time out of your day. I know you have, you know, a busy schedule. You know, I know you have your own business and stuff like that. So thank you again for taking time out for this hour and a half, talking basketball, talking strength training, and talking NBA. So yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Hey, Zeke, thanks for having me on, man. I wish you the very best in your career. Any way I can help you down the road, you let me know. And thank you. And I wish you the best. And it was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much. And like I said, I'll finish the recording, and then once it finishes, I'll go ahead and send it to your email and stuff like that. And then and then I'll email you again because I'm gonna edit the video and stuff like that, and then post it and everything. And then once I post it, I'll send you the link to it and stuff like that, so you can check it out.
You can send me because we want to you know, piggyback and get you, you know, either for us, either for help you as well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that a lot.
You know, no problem. Now, what is it? What are you doing? What is this?
So this is something that I just always wanted to do. I kind of got into it more since, you know, quarantine hit, and I was, you know, in my house the whole time. So I love basketball, and I love like talking basketball game and like, you know, analogies and drills and stuff like that. It's like really interesting to me. So I liked kinesiology because I'm trying to be a PTA. So I go to graduate. Yeah, I'm going to graduate school. I'm going to California Baptist University next year to get my degree and stuff like that. But I work with the Clippers. So like in all, I'm trying to, you know, be a PTA for an NBA team. So I'm trying to put like those two together and work with like athletes and stuff like that. So I just figured, you know, let me just make a podcast of talking to PTA or physical therapists, PTAs, athletic trainers, SNCs, you know, for the NBA teams and stuff like that, just to get like their insight of not only the game, but like, you know, what players need to work on and what are the steps, you know, to get their body ready for the season. So that's basically what this podcast is about.
Good for you. How's it going?
It's going good. You know what's funny? You are my very first interviewee.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. So it started off strong because I have others lined up, but you're like my first one that I scheduled. So
you did a great job.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Come on, man. My pleasure, man. Who else have you lined up?
I'm lining up the Denver Nuggets strength and training coach Felipe. His last name I forgot how to even say it. Him, and then I was gonna do Phil Hattie for the Lakers, but I know he's, you know, in the bubble and stuff like that. So I'm trying to work my way through like California states and then kind of work my way like, you know, across and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing.
Good for you, man. Now with the Clippers, what are you doing? What's your role?
I do like marketing, and I run like a youth, because we have like a youth division. So we have like summer camps and stuff like that. So we'll go to like a city like Calabasas or, you know, a city in California, and then we'll go to like a local gym, and then, you know, kids will come and we'll just teach them simple basketball drills. And then, you know, we'll have alumni players come and like talk to the kids and stuff like that. So, and then I make like the flyers for the summer camps and what have you. And then we do like outreach during the games and stuff like that. Before COVID hit, we were set up a table and stuff like that at Staples Center. So, Yeah, that's basically what I do.
How you enjoying it?
It's actually really fun.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to get hired, to be honest. I kind of just saw the ad and just said, you know what, why not? Let me just apply. And then next thing I knew, I got the interview. So, yeah, I enjoy it really much. I enjoy it a lot. You meet phenomenal people, amazing people in the organization, and it's just amazing.
Good for you, man. And
Yeah.
good. Have you met the strength staff there? You know, is Daniel Shapiro still there? You met Daniel?
Yeah, Daniel is still there. I've been trying so hard to like try to shadow or even like the AT there. So I talked to my boss, but like it's two totally different. So it's kind of hard for them to like talk to people, you know, close to the team. But yeah, Daniel Shapiro still works there. Still the strength and conditioning coach. He does a fantastic job with the players. So still trying to get my feet in the water and eventually shadow and watch them do their
Jason's
thing.
still ATC head trainer. Jason
Yeah,
there, right?
yeah. Jason's still. He's been there for a long time, so
Yeah.
he's still the AT there. But try to get in there, trying to shadow, see the players and stuff like that.
You can't email him or something?
I tried. I think I did Daniel Shapiro. But that was like a while ago, so I might have to follow up with him. But
Did he respond to you?
no, he didn't respond. No. So, but I'm I'm gonna send him an email.
Man.
You said what?
I know Dan. I know he's just a little kid coming up in this industry, man. Come on, D. Yeah.
Yeah,
good dude. Really, really great dude.
Yeah, I saw one of his videos and him explaining like a drill and stuff like that. He seems like really knowledgeable, really down to earth guy. So
yeah,
but,
well, I mean, I wish you the very best luck. If I can help you all down the road, you let me know.
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely be reaching out again. Thank you again.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Do me a favor, send me your contact, the rest of besides your email, your contact information. I'll have my guys get a hold of you, and we'll get this thing published, and any way we can help you down the road.
Okay, cool.
Hell, you know what? We're doing some cool stuff up here. I just started my own foundation.
Yeah, no, that's really dope.
So helping youngsters and still doing stuff in the NBA, but you know, it's something we really want to focus on. So I'll just tell you more about it and let you get the word out, and then in any way we can help you, I'll do that. Happy to do that.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be reaching out. Yeah, that's really dope. So what do you still do for the NBA?
We do all the draft stuff. It's like our latest project, you know, so you know, I mentioned Brett Brungard a couple of times with BAM. We they bring us in for Portsmouth. You know, that's the bit for the seniors, Chicago, and then we do the work with the BAM and the NBA and with the NCAA. Last year we started it, couldn't do it this year.
Yeah,
to bring top players from all over the world, who high school juniors, and testing them regionally in 4 different locations, well, all over the Western world, I should say, United States and Canada. And we test them in kind of, it's a week-long kind of training camp, and we're part of the testing group, and we give talks on preparation and what have you, importance of it.
Cool.
So that's with the NBA. Then we do a lot of stuff with younger athletes on here in San Francisco and Bay Area.
Yeah, that's really interesting, having like your own business and, you know, athletic side and stuff like that. That's really
yeah,
cool.
Man. I didn't want to say too much on this. I didn't maybe tell some answers. You know, it's a different vibe and culture, and it's changed a lot now. And you always got to worry about someone. You know, you always got to watch your back for the most part. And it's, you know, it wasn't me. I did my time. I loved it. Part of me wanted to jump back in, but also family reasons, it wasn't going to be healthy for me to do or smart to do. And then now I do my own business, which is like everything is just created. My friend made this logo. So it's a lot of, it's very liberating, but it's also, you're on your own. So
yeah,
there was a new challenge for me every day to challenge. So it's, you know, it's rewarding, but you gotta be on it, man.
You gotta be on it, yeah.
Always.
Always gotta be on it. Well, I applaud you for keeping up, and you know your long extensive history. The karate thing that you've done for 40 years. You're like I think you got a degree in psychology. I think I read.
Undergrad was in psychology, and when I was at Cal, you couldn't minor it. You didn't have minors in, but I minored in sports medicine. I was going to go to law school.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I mean. The night before I started, I took the LSAT. I did okay. I was just going to go to a local law school. I just wanted to pass the bar and I wanted to be a trial attorney. I wanted to get out and do it.
Dang. Wow.
The night before, my wife, now my wife looked at me and goes, what are you doing? I know you like this. This is not your first love. First love was just psychology and martial arts and sports and what have you. And I was training a football player at the time named Pat McGurk, who was trying to break into the NFL. Pat, great dude. And he told me about this school, my graduate school, John F. Kennedy University. Fortunately, it was local. But it was an applied program. You have to work with people. I didn't want to be a lab. I wanted to work with people. And so I was intrigued by it. Went to an open house, and that was that. So I'll tell you a funny story, but you get me going.
Go ahead.
So I tried different graduate schools to get my doctorate because I want to have my practice. And then knowing that, this industry is flighty, up and down business-wise, and I wanted to make sure I could have a family and have an income, and I love helping people. So I was going to have my own, get my doctorate and get licensed clinician, have that practice, and then do this stuff. Well, in both my in final interviews, academically, I'd done well, worked hard, got my grades were there, no problem. Both my final interviews to get into the programs, right? These are accredited schools. They asked me for a book, a book that had a major impact on me, and I quoted the Tao of Jeet Kune Do, Bruce Lee. I trained with this guy. I was really lucky to be around that. I got this thing around my neck because I got it from Bruce's Linda Lee.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. See that?
No way.
Yeah.
The yin and yang. Oh, what does it say on the back?
Walk on.
Wow. That's crazy.
So, I was a reminder that, I was able to kind of get there. So, and it had a major impact. And I quoted that book about the impact of bringing the mind and body working together and how I want to bring that into my work and help people get better.
Wow.
They basically flunked me.
Oh, really?
Well, that's not, what are you talking about? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's crazy how much has changed.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Now it would have worked. It would have been, because now it's in vogue now. Mindfulness. Back then, they thought I was,
crazy. Looked at you crazy.
Yeah. One day I'll get the doctorate. I got a program I picked out. I got to find time I can do it. Running the business, it's hard to do. But just to kind of say, just for me, it was one of my goals. I want to get it. So
yeah, you went out and went to do it. Yeah, you stuck to your roots too. Yeah, that's great. That's amazing.
No, are you from LA?
No, I'm from the IE. So like Rancho area. So like 40 minutes away from LA.
Gotcha. Okay. You're
LA
kid.
So
being from San Francisco, anything south of San Jose, you're LA.
You're in they're close enough, it's close enough. Yeah. Because I have family actually. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
I have family up in San Francisco. They live in Daly City though. They live like right across the bridge. I forgot the name of the bridge. Yeah. But yeah, they go to like Warrior games. My cousins love the Warriors and stuff like that. So really.
If you ever come this way, man, when we get through this crazy COVID-ness.
Oh yeah.
In person.
Yeah, no, definitely. If I'm ever in the area, I'll definitely email you, say something so I can, at least check out the business, see you in person, chop it up. God. Yeah.
And so if I get down to LA, maybe down to LA once or twice a year.
Oh, really?
I might want to be. Usually I come down and see. I like to watch, bring young coaches down and go down and visit Phil and Rico and watch them do their thing at UCLA and check in. And I bring usually come out Ollie Thomas. We get down and talk shop, watch them catch up, see what they're doing. It's a fun way to get away for a couple of days, see my old friends, just kind of stay in the vibe, and I like to get in the gym and watch and learn.
Keep learning. Yeah, never stop learning. That's what mom always says. She always tell me, never stop learning. Yeah, so gotta take that into account.
Yeah, remember Bruce Lee said, "You're not a master until you die." So
wow,
master, perfect. No, you're fooling yourself. So go right on to your mom's. She's on the money.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah.
You got it, man.
Yeah. Thanks again for coming.
Really appreciate it. Man.
Yeah.
Keep rocking. Now, get that information to me. We'll get it out there.
Definitely. I got you. Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your day.
See you down the road.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Got it.